This map shows the locations of the 12 Jyotirlingas. For millennia, these specific shrines have formed a sprawling, highly venerated network of spiritual destinations stretched across the entire Indian subcontinent. On a surface level, their placement seems completely independent. But one of these ancient shrines sits dead center on a major planetary coordinate. That coordinate is the Tropic of Cancer, an invisible astronomical boundary that perfectly intersects exactly one of these sacred markers. The site it hits is the Mahakaleshwar Jyotirlinga, a massive, multi-tiered stone complex situated in the ancient city of Ujjain. Out of all 12 shrines scattered across thousands of miles of varied terrain, Mahakaleshwar is the sole temple anchored exactly to this latitude, which presents a serious question. Is it a geographical fluke that this specific shrine landed directly on a global astronomical fault line? Or did its builders know exactly what they were doing? This model illustrates the mechanics of the Tropic of Cancer. Due to Earth's axial tilt, this specific latitude marks the northernmost boundary where the sun appears directly overhead. On the summer solstice, the sun aligns perfectly vertically with the ground below. Looking at this vintage map of Hindustan, we can trace the historical boundaries of the region. The city of Ujjain's placement directly under this intense vertical solar event turned it into a natural, permanent hub for tracking celestial bodies. Centuries before the world agreed to set their clocks to Greenwich, England, ancient Indian scholars were using Ujjain as their prime meridian, the central point of reference for calculating global time and tracking planetary orbits. So long before the modern era, Ujjain was already functioning as the absolute zero point for serious astronomical science in the region. We know they were performing this exact math because they left the physical evidence behind. Ujjain is home to immense, slanted circular stone dials, built entirely to observe the sky. These heavy structures operate as calibrated scientific instruments, engineered to calculate precise solar trajectories, shadow lengths, and celestial movement without a single piece of digital hardware. Today, we now rely on a fragile network of satellites and digital signals to figure out exactly where we are. The astronomers in Ujjain built their GPS out of permanent, immovable rock. Which brings us back to the Mahakaleshwar temple itself. Its massive architecture sits mere miles from those observatories, subjected to the exact same astronomical rigor. The master builders who plotted the coordinates for this Jyotirlinga were operating with this same mathematical precision as the scholars charting the stars next door. Today, a constant influx of devotees streams toward the base of the spire. It remains one of the most heavily visited and revered religious sites in the country. But the daily operations inside are still deeply tied to the sky above. Specific spiritual rituals performed daily at the shrine are continuously synchronized with the solar events dictated by its unique latitude. All of this happens while the vibrant, chaotic city of Ujjain thrives and rushes right outside the busy temple gates. It exists as two things at once: a deeply sacred destination for millions of worshippers and a functional, precise geographic marker tethered to the rotation of the Earth. The location of Mahakaleshwar on the Tropic of Cancer was completely intentional. It was a mathematically calculated decision designed to physically anchor human faith to a cosmic coordinate. Out of all the 12 major Jyotirlingas across India, this is the only one that achieves this perfect celestial synchronization. We often categorize ancient monuments neatly into buckets of either faith or hard science. But drawing that rigid line entirely misreads the minds of the people who built them. To the architects of Ujjain, mapping the exact trajectory of the sun and honoring the divine weren't separate fields of study. They were the exact same discipline. Mahakaleshwar still stands today as a physical record of humanity's early ability to measure, understand, and perfectly align with the mechanics of the solar system. Which leaves us to ask, if this level of geographical engineering is baked into the stones of Ujjain, what other modern scientific coordinates are quietly waiting to be recognized in the world's ancient architecture?